The
Yeah.
difference is, I think, like I looked at Tre'dish and maybe call this an opportunity, but I looked at Tre'dish as something that was extraordinarily needed because if you think of the entire concept of cost of living, food affordability, food inflation, all this happened again, piggybacking off a moment in time where if you think about like the way food has in groceries very specifically has been built over the past like decade, it's basically built off of convenience. So like you actually now have layers of convenience, which is Uber Eats, Instacart, DoorDash, like anyone that's delivering food to your door, but they're building off the highest cost grocery retail. So they're actually
Right.
they're a delivery service for grocers. If you think about that concept, like grocery stores in and of itself have a lot of bloat, have a lot of cost, have tons of different costs embedded into the system in the supply chain. So I wanted to test out a theory around if you just basically cut out the cost, the middleman cost and all the costs in the supply chain and try to optimize that as best way possible and use other people's infrastructure, can you find a way to cut costs in the system and then essentially pass those savings on to consumers? And I wanted to test
Mm.
that out. I wasn't sure if I could figure it out, but I wanted to test it out at a very small scale to see if I can procure better, I can actually mitigate my costs in terms of like, the supply chain side of it, and I can actually deliver to the customer in a very cost effective way. So I've been able to figure that out and do that in the Tre'dish model. And as a result, with again, keep in mind, we're about a year and a half into our startup right now. Um, we actually provide up to 25% savings to the average grocery store, like the big three grocery store, and our quality is actually better because we
Win-win.
don't hold inventory. So there was a very very strong chance I was going to shut down the business because if we couldn't figure out the thesis or that thesis wasn't true, then there's no way we can scale it. But now,
Yeah.
if you think of like I have very minimal revenue because again we're in startup mode, but I can offer that 25% savings. I've actually built a feature called transparent pricing in the app that shows you what we're priced, what each one of our products are priced, and what your grocery cart is priced compared to the big three grocers as well. So it's full transparent pricing, which shows you the
Oh, I
savings.
love that.
So
Yeah.
now that I've been able to kind of crack my code on it, now I believe I can just build and scale on top of it. Now, but the problem is, to be honest, is like you're going up against the establishment in many respects, right? The grocery
Right.
system is an oligopoly of three largest grocers, and then the other big two are like Walmart and Costco, right? So it's like
Right.
it's a very daunting environment. But the fact still remains, it's a problem. Like cost of living is a problem, food affordability is a problem, food scarcity is a problem, food insecurity is a problem. So all
Yeah.
that isn't going to go away with the current establishment and the current ecosystem that exists right now. So again, that's kind of where going back to my main point, which is like because it's a passion project, but because it's a passion project around what a big problem I know needs fixing, I had to try it out.